adventures are happening tonight.
The Prophecy of the Trident. It's October 25th. I was at the beach with my girlfriend. I was in the water fighting sharks with my bare hands while my girlfriend was on a deck chair cheering me on. I tried to smile at her, but the sharks kept getting my attention. They are certainly keeping me busy, that's for sure. While going there, I then noticed something shiny in the water. As I punched away the last shark, I went in for a closer look. It looked like a handle, so it might be a trowel. As I pulled on it, it felt big. So, maybe a wheelbarrow? I pulled as much as I could, and as soon as you know it, out it came. As it turns out, it wasn't any of those two I guessed at all. Instead, it was a trident, but it wasn't just any old trident. It was a Ukrainian trident. Rumour has it that this trident was held by the one guy who led the Kievan Rus, Volodymyr the Great. He gave it so much power that it scared off invading European and Asian tribes. He was loved by all, but feared by others. I went to show my girlfriend, and you won't believe what she said. Well, Van Thursday, if it's a Ukrainian trident, why isn't Zelenskyy holding it? Well, we better give it to him. He might actually need it, I said. Alright, let's do it, my girlfriend said. So off we went to a war-torn Ukraine. As we flew over Kiev, we saw Volodymyr Zelenskyy at his house in one of the outside towns. I believe the town was Simi, I don't remember. So I landed my spacecraft, the Orion, just down the road. Volodymyr heard the noise and ran outside. He saw the giant green spacecraft and stood there in awe. He then noticed us coming to him, so he came up and said, "What brings you to Ukraine?" I found this trident at a beach side, and as it turns out, it was a Ukrainian one, so I thought I'd bring it here, I explained. Is it for the museum? Asked Volodymyr. It's not for the museum, it's for you, I said. Volodymyr then asked, what am I doing with it? For this, I told him the story of Volodymyr the Great, and how I believe it can give Mr. Zelenskyy the power he needs to face Russia. Volodymyr was unsure at first, but then believed in the power the trident can give to him. He was grateful for this, so he gave us some Ukrainian gifts for us to take home. We gave him our many thanks, then off we went back home. We managed to get home safely. The only thing is, do you think the power of this trident might actually work? If so, how long would it take to defeat the Russians? I guess we'll find out soon. Now, I only just wrote half the story in the book, but I'm going to continue here. So, we went back to the beach. I'd noticed that the sharks had come back again. So guess what? I went back in the water and I punched them off with my bare hands. I could definitely tell that my girlfriend was literally cheering me on. Oh, Queanbeyan, you are a superstar. Oh man. But then, guess who I had noticed walking up the beach? It was the Gill Man. And guess who had accompanied him? Van Helsing. You wouldn't believe this. This was actually the first time I saw Van Helsing in real life. So, as I walked out of the water, punched off the last shark, all the way to Rotto, that's like 19 whole Ks. As I punched the last one all the way off to Rotto, I walked out of the water, and Van Helsing came to me and said, "Van Thursday, is it?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Mr. Gill Man is looking for his trident. He believes he left it around here, but he couldn't find it. He would know it if he saw something stick out of the water." And then I realised that I made a mistake. I realised that Ukrainian Trident I gave to Volodymyr Zelenskyy wasn't actually property of Ukraine at all. It was something the Gill Man had got. He earned it because he actually won a wheat baking contest that was held back in 2003, and you won't believe this, and you won't believe this, to how he got the trident, I actually don't know. But I knew I had to be honest, so I told Van Helsing the whole story, and then he asked me, "Well, why did you take it to Ukraine?" I then told him because I actually thought it was a belonging of the Ukrainian country, and it was and I thought it was the belonging of Volodymyr Zelenskyy, so I took it to him, and I actually thought it was his. But if you'd like me to get it back for you, I can. Van Helsing then said to me, "Well, I was going to ask you to do just that, so if you can, that would be lovely." And I said, "Sure will." I then called out to Queanbeyan, my girlfriend Queanbeyan. "Hey Queanbeyan, we got to get in the spacecraft again. We have to go back to Ukraine because that trident I found, it actually belongs to the Gill Man." So back in the spaceship we jumped, flew back to the war-torn Ukraine, and believe it or not, outside, Volodymyr Zelenskyy was waiting for us. So I climbed out of the spacecraft, and he told me, "This is not mine. It belongs to someone called the Gill Man." And I said, "Yep, you got that right. I do apologise if I brought it to you. I actually thought it was yours to begin with, but I then realised that it was the Gill Man who actually had the trident, because a friend of his told me that he earned it because he won a wheat baking contest in 2003. And Mr. Zelenskyy said That's exactly right, because I was there. Not, I was like enlightened by this, and then he gave me the trident, and I said, "Thank you very much. I do apologise for the mix-up, but at least we got somewhere." And he said, "We sure did." And after that, he gave me some more Ukrainian gifts and one to pass on to Queanbeyan, because he saw her sitting in the ship. And we said our farewells, and pretty much soon we parted ways and went back home. Once we did get back home, it was just about evening. Gill Man was just waiting at his house, just up a small hill, and he was waiting quite anxiously for his trident to come back. But luckily, just in time for dinner, we came into land, and I went to give the trident back to Mr. Gill Man. And so I said to him, here's your trident, Mr. Gill Man. I do apologise for the mix-up, though. I thought it belonged to someone else, but with Van Helsing telling me that it was actually yours, I realised the truth now. Mr. Gill Man said, "Oh, that's all right. Don't stress about it. At least you understand what's going on." I agreed with that, and so we said our farewells, and we parted ways and headed back home. What an adventure! It was quite amazing, but just wait until you hear the next story of The Real Strange and Scary Things, where it is titled The 13th Month. See you soon. Stay tuned for the 7th part of The Real Strange and Scary Things, where it'll be all about the 13th month. I'm Van Thursday, and I'll see you guys around soon. Catch you later. Made in cooperation with the TSE Company Limited, Adelaide, Austin, Ireland.